Thunder roared across the skies as rain poured over the city. Inside the towering auditorium of Holy Ground Ministries, an anxious crowd packed every seat. Murmurs buzzed through the air as all eyes turned toward the pulpit, hoping for a glimpse of the woman they had come to revere, Prophetess Patricia, famously known as Mama Seator. Whispers of her supernatural gifts filled the air. They say she can see into your soul. She hears directly from God. But this morning, the atmosphere felt different. Tense. Uneasy. Suddenly, a shriek tore through the silence. Agatha, one of Patricia's trusted aides, rushed to the stage, trembling and wild-eyed. "She's done it again," she cried. "Mama has healed another cripple." The crowd erupted in wild celebration. But Elizabeth, a quiet woman who had attended the church faithfully for months, remained still. Her eyes narrowed. She recognized the healed man. Just days ago, she'd seen him walking in the markets, strong and healthy. A planted actor. Her suspicion grew, but who would believe her? To them, Mama Seator was sacred. Untouchable. Years earlier, Patricia had been a simple, devout girl from a modest, God-fearing family. Her life was one of service, leading Sunday school, singing in the choir, and hosting prayer meetings. Everyone believed she was destined for greatness. No one could have predicted how far she'd stray. Desperate to grow her struggling ministry, Patricia attended a prestigious pastors' conference. There, she met Pastor Benji, a charismatic preacher with an eerie presence. He pulled her aside with a knowing smile. "You're trying to serve God," he said, "but power doesn't come through righteousness alone. Real influence requires sacrifice." He offered her an invitation to a special initiation ceremony. At first, Patricia resisted. But ambition consumed her. That night, she took part in a dark ritual, surrendering her ability to bear children in exchange for supernatural authority. As the pastors chanted, a strange energy wrapped itself around her. Something ancient. Something dark. And from that night forward, everything changed. Suddenly, Patricia's church began to swell with followers. Miracles multiplied. Her fame exploded. Soon, she was known across Nigeria and beyond. But the crowds didn't know her truth. Patricia was no longer fully human. A secret bond with the marine kingdom transformed her into a hybrid, a creature bound to darkness. Each night at midnight, she would slip from her mansion, walk to the river behind her estate, and disappear beneath its waters. There, in the underwater realm, she communed with other occult leaders, prophets, bishops, and pastors who had sold their souls. The Marine Queen, a serpent-like figure of power and terror, granted her visions, charisma, and control over human minds. But the price was steep: Patricia's soul, her womb, and any remnant of her humanity. Patricia's congregation, blind to her occult ties, obeyed her every word. She introduced bizarre practices masked in spirituality. Each member received a mirror of life, an object she claimed would help them identify spiritual flaws. In truth, these mirrors were connected to the marine world. Through them, Patricia spied on her members, studying their fears, secrets, and sins. She began calling people out during services. "You argued with your husband last night," she told Kehind, her tone serene and eerie. Kehind gasped. How could she know? But Elizabeth knew better. Patricia had summoned Kehind's spirit through the mirror the night before. The miracles were all staged. Soon came the miracle oils and holy waters, sold at outrageous prices. Poor families gave everything they had for small bottles Patricia promised could fix their lives. Elizabeth watched a mother hand over her last savings and felt her chest tighten. One Sunday, Patricia's voice thundered across the sanctuary. "Young man, stand up." Her eyes fixed on Obiora, a foreign return graduate visiting with his mother. Nervous, he obeyed. "The Lord reveals to me that your life battery is low. If you don't act, you won't see 30. Obiora's heart dropped. His mother gasped. There is a solution, Patricia continued. A pure sacrifice. A strong, spotless cow. Obiora panicked. I don't know where to find one. No need, she smiled. You can sow a monetary seed. We'll handle the offering for you. His mother nudged him. Do it, son. Save your life. Shaking, Obiora wrote a fat check. Patricia grinned, accepting it as another trophy. But there would be no cow. No sacrifice. Just more funding for her luxury mansion. Patricia's influence stretched beyond finances. She began meddling in marriages, targeting rich and vulnerable men. One such victim was Mr. Okiki, a successful businessman. I see a shadow in your home, she told him. Someone close is blocking your blessings. Your wife. Terrified, Mr. Okiki distanced himself from his spouse, believing Patricia's lies. Before long, she invited him to private deliverance sessions that became affairs. He was far from the only one. Patricia seduced several influential men, shattering homes under the guise of divine insight. Elizabeth, quietly collecting stories, saw the web of destruction growing. Then came the night that changed everything. Hidden near the river behind Patricia's mansion, Elizabeth crouched with her phone. As the clock struck midnight, she saw the unthinkable. Patricia emerged from her house, walking toward the water. She began chanting in a guttural, inhuman tongue. Then, her body began to shift. Scales shimmered over her skin. Her legs fused. Her eyes glowed like fire as she slipped into the river, vanishing beneath the waves. Elizabeth covered her mouth in horror. Mama See It All was not just corrupt. She was something else entirely. The next day at church, Patricia's eyes found Elizabeth in the crowd. Her gaze burned. Elizabeth, she said sweetly, come forward. The Lord has shown me something troubling. As Elizabeth stepped forward, Patricia whispered coldly in her ear. You are walking on dangerous ground. Some truths are better left buried. But Elizabeth stood tall. Her mission was clear. Over the following weeks, she released her findings to the public, videos, testimonies, photos of Patricia's nightly disappearances. The news exploded. The world was stunned. Congregants wept. Some rioted. Others slipped into depression. They had been lied to, drained emotionally, financially, spiritually. In her final address, Elizabeth stood before the now empty altar. Dear brothers and sisters, not every prophet is from God. Some wear the cloth to deceive. Let us be watchful, discerning, and rooted in truth. While Patricia's story is a warning, it does not mean all preachers are false. Real servants of God exist, humble, sincere, and spirit-led. She paused, then added, ask questions. Pray for clarity. Protect your soul.